Now let's go to the next tool that I wanted to discuss, which is the free transform tool. It's a great tool. You're gonna use it a lot. I want to select, for example, this whole rectangle right here. Bam. And you're gonna see all those registrations. Well, if you put the cursor in those registration points, you can see it gives you different symbols. For example, that one says stretch. It can stretch that way. Now if I go to a corner, I'm gonna see that little arc means rotate. Let's say I want it rotated that way. And there's some options here that you can use. I mean, it's really amazing tool. You can also use different options that you can choose. Distort allows you to distort it a little bit. Obviously scales, obvious. Oh, this is sorry, this is a skew. That's what a skew does, and so on and so forth. Go back to the selection tool. Inside of it, if you hold it down, you're gonna see there's a free a great transform tool, the gradient. We're gonna discuss that in a second, but let's go back to the lasso tool. The lasso tool, if you used Photoshop before, is pretty obvious. Instead of choosing everything with a selection tool, you can also use the lasso tool to select something just by surrounding it. But the beauty of it, I'm gonna click outside, is that I can select sections of it. Boom. I don't even have to close the whole thing. I just have to close enough and it'll choose it. It'll close the arc. And there's other options you can do here. You can do polygon type of choosing, where I can select an area this way and double click and it'll choose it for me. You know, if I wanted to choose here, here, there, and double click there, and that was what's inside of that. So it's really neat. There's also all the tools. You can use the magic wand and whatnot. I'll explore that a little bit later. That pen tool I never use, and actually I don't even remember what it does right now, so I'm not gonna discuss it. To be honest, I never use it. The text tool, as the name implies, type text, select an area, type some junk, done. There's more to it. For example, if you can see here, this is static text. You can select dynamic or input of that type. If it's just only one is text, use static. If you use dynamic, it means you can use ActionScript to change the text dynamically as your movie happens. You know, something like if you want a timer or a score, you will use dynamic text. That way, you can, every time you kill something, you get points. You can also, of course, use the font and all that. Same as, you know, nothing new. Same as other tools. We already discussed the line tool. The rectangle, again, if you hold it down, not only can you do rectangles, you can do ovals and polygons. I'm just going to do an oval real quick to show it. You see it, it's nothing special. But it is used a lot. I mean, to draw circles are used often. The pencil tool. The pencil tool allows you to do freehand drawing. For example, if I can draw a line by freehand, or I can do squiggly things. Now, the important thing to notice is this. Right now, it's a smooth section, which means if I wanted to do a circle, and I'm doing it with the mouse, that's why it's not coming out nicely. Flash tried to make a smooth surface, you know, a smooth curve. If I were to use straighten, and I try to do the same or similar circle, Flash is gonna make it, you know, kind of edgy, because that's what it's meant to do, as opposed to if I do smooth again, you know, it's curvy. Now, anything that's a line or a pencil is a stroke again. The colors is I mean, you can change it. You can go here and change the stroke color. For example, I can now draw in blue or neon green or whatever. You know, you can mix the colors here on the left side. We'll go into that a little bit later. The brush is the fill, and you know, same thing, kind of like a line, but it's used for painting. Where the line will be the outline, or the stroke will be the outline, the inside will be the painting. Well, important to notice here is these two things. Here is the brush size, and as the name implies, you can make a bigger brush. And the shape of the brush. For example, if I wanted to use the weird one, almost like a kanji, almost feel to it. Now this is important here. Right now we're normal mode, which means it's paint normal. But what if I wanted, I can use this option to help me paint, because if I'm here and I wanted to just not paint outside the line, well, it's kind of hard to do if I use it in normal mode. It's what if I go outside? That's not what I wanted. I wanted to paint inside. Of course, I can use the bucket tool, which I'll show in a second. But if all I want to paint is one edge, I just get most of it inside, go like that. Whoop, Flash does it for me. Very useful. Sometimes might not you see the usefulness here because it's not a whole lot of things, but when you have a lot of objects and shapes, and now it becomes really hard to choose exactly, it comes in handy. I'm gonna put it back to normal for now.